Guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. Here we are, episode 7 of the build, and we're going to continue working on the quarters, doing a little more Bondo work and doing some blocking to get them sorted out, and maybe working on the front fenders as well, trying to get those sorted maybe after we get this all straightened out. I like to kind of try, tackle things one at a time and make them, start to finish done. I don't like to bounce around a whole lot, so once I got started on the quarter panels, I really want to keep going with it. So I know we did the fenders, and we got those finished up pretty close. We just have to go back and finish sand them, and that's it. Then we can actually get into primer, which would be dope. Maybe next week we can get into it. Who knows? So here we are with the car. You haven't seen this yet. A little bit of extra work I've been doing. Trying to get the skim coat done. Knocking over all my stuff. There we go. Got the skim coat done on the entire quarter on this side. Again, it's super light. Like, there's nothing hardly there. The reason I did this is because there's all sorts of little dings and dents that I've found on this quarter panel after I took the 2 layers of paint off. This car had been repainted before, so I just wanted to restart from ground zero, I should say. And then we have this side. Here's the driver's side. Get her on set up. This is the same as it was in the last video, but we're going to apply a skim coat to this guy today and get it sorted out a little bit better. Right in here, it's still a little low, right in this area, so I think I'm going to add a decent amount right in here so that we can get that sorted out. But yeah, today's going to be skimming and sanding again. Try and get this busted out so that we can go ahead and get it in primer. That's just one step closer to having this thing back on the road. That's just what I have to keep telling myself, is that every time we come and work on this car and you guys, see these videos go up, it means that I'm getting one step closer to getting this car back on the road. And it's making me so excited to have this car finally back and saving the manuals. That's another thing. We're saving the manuals. So appreciate you guys coming back around. Again, if you're not following me on Instagram, what are you doing? I post a lot of things on there that you're not going to see on here. Little tidbits, tricks, tips, little things that I'm doing with the car that doesn't really need to be in a YouTube video. So it's that Bowtie Z32, and we'll catch you guys in the next little bit. Alright guys, quick little tip. Whenever you make your puddle of skim coat or Bondo, usually I do a straight line, but it came out kind of squiggly. But if you go from the middle out, that's usually enough hardener. It's just finesse work. It's just going back and making sure that your lines are where you want them to be and everything's happy. I'm gonna have to add just a little bit through here because I ended up cutting too much out. And I got a little bit of an interesting development right here. It's actually low right here, and I don't know how, because I never even touched right there, I don't think. I touched back here. I didn't really touch it in right here, but as I moved my hand across it, there's definitely a low spot right here. So I'll have to add some in this area right here. And then right in here just has a strange transition, and I'm not going to be able to really figure it out until I get primer on it. So I went ahead and taped it all up to get it ready to spray primer. but we're going to go to the other side and work on that side before we do primer, because I want to prime both sides at the same time. Alright, so same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and lay out my line on this side. There we go. So I'm going to work on this first, 80 grit. All blocked out, it's nice and smooth. Still got a little bit of a low spot right in here, so I'm gonna have to go back with a little bit more. Same with right here. Other than that, it feels really, really nice. Even up here, I've got a little bit more of a low spot down here. I'll have to add just a tiny amount, but I'm gonna wait until after I prime it to do that, because I want to be able to see it a little bit better. The gray on black, so whenever you prime it gray and you throw a guide coat over top of it, you can see a lot more. So right now what we're going to do is take this guy, it's a rounded edge square block, and we're just going to set this line in here. So you can kind of see now, that's kind of what we're going to be doing, is getting that line set, and then we're going to work our way up the panel. Throw a little primer down. Alright, let's go to the other side. Coat. I can already see some things I'm gonna have to correct, which is fine. That's kind of what I expected. That's why I wanted to do that. It allows me to see a lot more doing it this way. But other than it looks really good. I'm not even gonna try and take that away. I mean, it looks really, really good right now. There are some places that I need to correct. Like back here, there's some work that needs to be done. Obviously, this still needs to be like 180 block, but it looks really good, I must say. Like I said, once we throw the guide coat on there, we'll lay down a more definitive line for this. I'll probably end up just leaving the curve the way it is, and then just throwing a little bit of skim coat around the edge, and then fixing that up there. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Kind of looks like it's flattened out too much, so just gonna have to play with it. Once we get the skim coat on there, it'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Well, not skim coat, guide coat. Once I put the guide coat on there. All right, guys, real quick before the battery dies. How good does that look? So you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. There's some low spot right here. It's flattened off. Once I throw the guide coat on there, and then right here, if you can see it, there's a flat spot. If I can catch the light right. There it is. Flat spot right on top, right in this area here. And I guess that's just where I missed with the guide, or with the skim coat. God, I couldn't think of it. But right here, it's also not on the line perfectly. So what we're gonna do is just throw the, or just put some guide coat down on it, and then we'll come back and throw some tape on it and really just try to get this guy ironed out. There's gonna be some addition down here, but other than that, this side's pretty good. This back is just perfect. There's gonna be a little bit of 180 grit sanding back here to really thin it all out and make it all nice and smooth, and then really worrying about this body line right here on the car, and then we'll work on the fender just like we did the other side. I think I messed up doing this side the way I did it. I didn't throw any on the fender, and I think that's what messed me up. But we look at the driver's side, and I know there's a thick line. I'm not really worried about that right now because I'm gonna obviously repaint the whole car, so it's not my biggest concern right now. But you can see it, that body line is really nice and fades in to the front part of the gas tank really nice. But she looks really good. I'm so happy with it. I thought my camera died. But I'm not going to record that because you guys already know how that goes. We do have a lot of finish work to do on this side and the other side, so that'll be in the next little clip. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this week or not, but if you see something right after this, then you know. So that's it for tonight. Catch you guys in the next clip. Alright guys, so here we are at the car again. We're going to end up blocking today. We're going to do a little bit of blocking with this guy. It's a flexible block. It's also really nice and narrow, so you can do, tight spaces with it. Come in and do some tight corners and everything. Rounded edges so you don't leave a sharp line, so we can block this body line into place properly. But basically I'm going to use 180 grit to block this out because I've already gone over it one time with 80 grit before we primed it. So now we're going to go back with 180 grit and block this out, and then we're going to prime it one more time. And I'm going to come out here and block this out. I'm probably going to take the DA and a soft pad with 180 grit and go over this whole panel after we finish getting all the highs and lows out on this, and bring it all the way back to this back corner back here to get this primer line out. And then we're probably going to prime this whole side today or tonight. That's the game plan. We'll see how far we get. The other side has panel bonder on it. Well, not panel bonder. We're done with panel bonder. The other side has skim coat over it. I had to make a jig to duplicate this side to that side because I like the way that this one sat better, so that whenever I went to that side and drew it out, the line was actually up here. So I had to go back and take a hammer and my new dolly and go through and re-correct basically move that body line down with my hammer and dolly and get it to come down further so that it matches this side. And then I had to, of course, throw a little skim coat over it so that it would all match, it'll all be level and everything. So we're going to end up doing some heavy blocking on that side. So it's drying right now. I figured we would just knock this side out real quick. Passenger side, I'm going to use my jig here and trace my line for where I need it to be. Sorry. So now we're going to keep that line in present, and we're going to throw some tape from here all the way across, and then we're going to block the, or we're going to do the top side of it, but we're going to tape the top side of it, block this guy, get it smooth, and then we're going to remove the tape and then reverse tape it the other way, and then bring this panel into the fender flares. So. Alright guys, here we are all taped up. We're going to shoot a little primer and see how she comes out. I'm interested to see. I think I have a little bit of a issue in this area right here. I haven't really decided. My hand can't exactly tell me what it is. We'll see. But this side is pretty beautiful, except for right here. I've got a little bit of a low spot right in here from the way I blocked it. So we may have to add just a tiny bit to this side. But as you can see, I mean, there's not, I mean, obviously the panel changes noise as you tap it and where you tap it, but there's really not that much bond doing these. This has panel bonder in it, so it's going to sound a little more dense. Same along right here on both of them. They're going to sound more dense because of that, but everything's pretty good. So I'm going to wipe them down real quick with some wax and grease cleaner or remover, and then I'll mix up the primer. we'll let that sit for a second, let it kind of tack up, and we're gonna throw another coat on it. Ah, damn. I did get a little heavy. I knew I did. It's all right. So we're gonna let it tack up a little bit, and we'll throw another coat on it. But you can see it in the light. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. All right, I'm gonna do a little light dusting because I need to get out of here. Should have thought about it, and I could have primed that guy too while I was here. Because it's got all kinds of dust and everything in it from doing these quarter panels and all. Oh well. Alright, well, that's gonna be it for tonight. I got a lot done, and there's still a little bit to go, but we've made some great progress. And you know, that's what I talk about in every video, is that these little things here and there, get attacked. These little things here and there make such a big difference, getting things checked off the list and underway. I gotta waste a whole bunch of this. I really screwed that one up. Sorry, babe. She's the one that bought me the bought me the paint or the primer. So, anywho's, let's get this off real quick. Don't fall. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for today, and for this episode 7, yeah, episode 7 of the Z build. God, it looks so good. Next is first stage of blocking for primed, and then we'll throw another thing of primer on it and block it out again, and then we will probably go ahead and just prime the, well, need to get the front fenders done. So since the last time you've seen them, I'll throw them in here real quick so I can refresh y'all's memory. Yeah, but I'm gonna pull them off the car to paint them, because I mean, it just makes sense. So there's still a little bit of work to be done right here, a little bit of Bondo that has to go right here, and I don't know what that was from. Just has a couple of dents there and a couple dents here. So a little skim coat there. I'm gonna have to sand this down, and there's probably gonna be a little bit of Bondo work in there too. So the inside right here, I'm not really worried about making super clean. The outside of this is actually really nice. So we'll just end up grinding this down a little bit and sanding her down with probably some 40 grit or something, and we'll prep the whole fender, and we'll go through all that whenever we get to it. So, but that's gonna be it for today's, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come watch these videos. It means a lot to me, and it keeps me going and wanting me to produce more and better content for you guys, giving you guys better angles. Pete, the chest harness, this will be in more videos. I just found it in my bag. I forgot about it. So appreciate it. Take care. Have a blessed weekend. Deuces.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout.